Welcome, everybody, once again to BIZ NFL football. Week number 6 is upon us. We are rolling in the NFL. 48-22-2. 5 consecutive winning weeks. I hope you all enjoyed it and are cashing in and making some money. It is just after it's around 11:30 Saturday morning here, Northern California, East Bay. Beautiful weather once again. 70s, slight breeze, no clouds. Still have my electricity. Those bastards from PG&E with their overpaid executives didn't manage to shut my shit off, as was the threat all week. We had some places that did have no electricity. The South Bay got their shit cut off for a while, but here in the East Bay we experienced no outages, so that's a good thing. Otherwise, you guys wouldn't have got this out today. Crew is here. Stewie, the Biz, Rosie, your pilot. We are cruising at 30,000 feet, pouring cocktails, eating food. Hit that call button. Get yourself a drink. Settle in. Got a nice card this week. Some totals. Some sides. Got the Biz Pete combo play. That was a nice winner last week. We got a new feature. The stinker of the week. The Raiders would have qualified a few weeks ago. My stinker this week in the NCAA football was Bowling Green getting 27.5. We're midway in the third quarter, and they're leading 20-7. My only AM game today in college football. 20-7 in the morning game. We hit Miami of Florida last night. We hit that under Thursday night, 2-0 to start the college week. If you didn't play my second half suggestion from last night, I posted on Twitter. So a nice start to the week. Nice start to the season. Just a nice start to my day. What a day. Got my vodka here. Got a little tonic in it today, a little lime. Got my crew happy, ready to get going. And why wouldn't we? 68.5%. 21 units. Winning weeks. I wonder what Carmine Genovese is doing this week, or Frank Bonanno, the bookie killer. I don't really care. All we care about is what's going on with us, and we're rolling. Don't want to get too ahead of ourselves. We are thankful for the run we're on. We don't want to stick our nose up at anything, but we're running good. We're grateful. We're humble. And we're going to move on to week number 6 in the NFL season. Thanks, Eddie. My man Eddie starting us off as always. Yeah, I hope you're not getting tired of this song either. Because when you hear this song, it means one thing. Yeah. I just gotta love this. You guys gotta hope we win just so I can play this every week. ZZ Top, Billy Gibbons, and the boys. Listen to this. Yeah, you did. You got paid. Again. 5-2. And if I had any brains, it would have been 5-1. I hope you got my Twitter Monday night. We'll go over that in a second. Let's go over the plays. Atlanta, Houston over 50. The combo play. Stomped it. That game went way over. Minnesota and the Giants. Made it sweat a little bit, but we did get the under. And I'm telling you, I can guarantee you these bastards are watching my video. Every time I talk shit about somebody, they have a game. Kirk Cousins going 19 for 23 for damn near 280 in the first half last week after I blasted him. He still sucks, but he had a good game. Got that under. Jacksonville, tough loser there. They were down. Minshew gave up a pick six. Not a pick six. It was a sack fumble return for a touchdown. He coughed one up inside his own red zone. That was another short field. That was 14 points he gave away. With that being said, they were still down one late in the game, and then Carolina busts off a 60-yard touchdown, and we couldn't quite get that win. But hey, I love that kid Minshew. They gave it a good shot. We just didn't quite get there. Denver and the Chargers was just a no doubt under. And of course, the Sunday night double D-Gen special. The Colts with the upset win, 19-13. The under, going under by 3 touchdowns. At least maybe 4. Throwing a field goal, 24 points. Never in doubt those games. The Colts, the under. I tell you, I love these D-Gen special games when you're on one side and the public's on the other in these high-profile games. It's just never a bad thing. Colts looked really good. And, of course, Monday night, I gave this out as the best bet. And I'm going to go over this in a second. But I put this out a couple days before the games. And as I've said, things change. Injuries, the market, what have you. And I'm going to go over this line movement in a minute, but it really, that line movement really screamed San Francisco, which is why I downgraded it from 2 units to 1 unit, and with any brains, I would have just downgraded it completely and even tossed one on the Niners. But I didn't. We took a loss, and Monday nights haven't been very good for us lately, but I'm not gonna worry too much about that. I'll take the 5-2. I'll take the almost 3 units. I'll take another winning week, and I'll move on to this week. So 5-2, darn near 3 units. We're at 48, 22 and 2, 68.5%. I got to get these best bets into gear, but we will. I'm not worried about that. So I'm not going to let this song play to the end. We've heard it a million times. Let's get on to a few things that I wanted to show you about the market. So here's the bet screen from the Niners and Browns game on Monday night. So you see on 10-4, which I believe was Wednesday. I forget what day of the week that game was. 7 Mondays. Just forgive me here. 7, like Wednesday or Thursday. That was the 4th. Anyway, several days before the game. The line is 4. And if you notice to the right, the Browns are getting 56, 54%. They're getting the majority of the bets, and they're right around 4. And then as the week progressed, you see all of a sudden that line goes to 4.5, and then it jumps a full point to 5.5. I think this was Sunday. The 6th was Sunday. And if you notice, as the line's going up, the Browns are getting more bets. So why on earth would the line move with the Browns if they're getting majority of the bets? They're getting 56% of the bets, but the line jumped a full point. Makes no sense. So we're at 5.5. Browns are getting 57%. So you go later in the day. Line ticks down to take to 5. And then it settles at 5 the entire time. And you look on the right, the Browns are getting 59, 61%. They're getting 60% of the bets. And that line moved a 1.5 from the open. It makes absolutely 0 sense. And then the next screen, you see there's 61%. It goes up to 62 and 63% up to the top. And it still holds at 5. This line should have ticked down to 4.5 to 4 with a normal market. It didn't. It stayed at 5. And then, again, the next 2 hours, it stays at 5. They're getting 63%, 60%. Now, remind you, this is a Monday night game. The bets are piling in. they must have had, I don't know, 40, 50,000 bets on this game. 10 times the amount of a normal Sunday morning game. So this isn't some lightly bet game. This is a heavily bet game. Bets are pouring in on the Browns, 62%, and that line's not budging. Okay, that line's not budging. The books have taken a stand on this game. And then finally, you get up to kickoff, 5:14 p.m. The Browns, 62%. They're still in the 60% range, and that line didn't budge at all. And if you look at the juice is even dropping on the dog. It was 109, minus 109. It dropped to even money. So they didn't even... not only did they not move the line, they reduced the juice on this game. So this, when I said it was just screaming to take the Niners on my Twitter, I said that the line is just screaming. This is what I was talking about. Browns are getting 6% of the bets. The line goes up. The line doesn't move. The juice drops. It just was, for me, was screaming the Niners. And you saw the game, the Niners beat the living crap out of them. So when I put something on Twitter like, the market is screaming Niners and we get off the game, I want to show you guys exactly what I was looking at. I want to show you the thought process behind the play and behind the decision, and I wanted you to understand why I got off a play that originally I thought was a really good play, because this line movement stunk to high heaven, and the game proved itself out by having the Browns get stomped. All right, there's one other game, and that was the total in that Colts-Chiefs game. Now, we didn't change the play. We had the under anyway. But I just want to show you in some of these primetime games that have just a huge amount of bets on them, how these lines and the bet percentages can really change your view or support your view of the game. You look at this over, it opened at 57. You see 59, 58% of the bets are on the over, and then it drops a half point, then it drops a point. So by Saturday, it's at 56. The over is getting 62% up to 65%. Then it drops at 55.5. Then it settles back at 56. This is with the over getting 67% of the bets. They're getting 2/3 of the bets. 2/3. Now, why would this line tick down a half a point twice? What on earth is that? 56, it drops to 55.5. You see there at 2:09 p.m. Then it goes to 56, and it drops right back to 55.5 just before game time. Now think about it. Just before game time, when all of the degens, all of the afternoon games are ending, it's 10 minutes to 5, 10 minutes to 8, wherever you live. At 4:50, the afternoon game just ended. Okay, and with 2/3 of the bets on the over, the book's like, Pinnacle. This is the Pinnacle line. You know what? we'll knock it down half a tick to 55.5, so that if you get to 56, you'll win the game. That's just telling to me. What are you dropping a line a half a point for right before kickoff? When 2/3 of you are already on the over. Here, have some more points. Here, have another bonus half point. You want the over? Here, we'll help you out. And as you saw, that game just was never ever in doubt of staying under the total. So these primetime games, these heavily bet games, of course, this doesn't happen every week, but if you can look online for yourself and find bet numbers and bet statistics and line movement. These primetime games, which are heavily bet, when you look at the market, sometimes the lines will just really tip you off as to what side the sharps are on and what side is the right side. So I just wanted to show you a couple of examples from last week as far as the betting and the odds and the bet percentages. And when I put something on Twitter about the market screaming one side, I wanted to kind of show you and explain what I was talking about. Okay, enough for that. Let's get on to some plays. All right, first game we're going to take the Cincinnati-Baltimore under 48. Now, I'm reading a lot of stuff where people like the over and Baltimore's defense isn't what it used to be, and on and on and on. But we have some really solid angles to support this play. There's even a few more that I left out. I just put down the good ones. You see this top one is 41-4. We're taking a touchdown plus favorite. That was just a favorite. The Ravens. The opponent had a bad defensive game. The Bengals, they were at home against the Cardinals, and they lost 41-4. The next one, same thing, 7-point previous favorite. They have an average defense. The opponent has a bad defense, and who lost? It's on grass. We talked about that grass game system earlier in the season. We've hit it a couple times. This is that same one, 37-1. And then the bottom one, another grass divisional game, grass surface. Previous loss. So the Bengals trigger this. It has to do with a scoring offense. There's a metric that is in this system that triggers this game. It has to do with points scored, I believe. And the previous game, they had 2 or more turnovers. That's the Bengals. This is 69-15 since 2010, and it's gone under 40 consecutive times. 40 consecutive times. So, despite the perceived poor defense of Baltimore and Cincinnati blows and all that, Lamar Jackson is just this fantasy god to some people. We're going to take the under 48. That's a divisional game. And 48 is a pretty high number for this game. I'm really shocked that this number is 48. But we're going to take the under Cincinnati-Baltimore under 48. Okay? Next game is another total. Tennessee-Denver. We take the over 40.5. It's a line that's within a field goal. It's a non-divisional game. Previously, they were a home favorite, which Tennessee triggers this. It's a road sandwich game. We talked about this road sandwich game a few weeks ago when we had that Houston Charger game. I put it up there, Houston Chargers 27-21. That 49 was a total. We lost that game. It was I believe that was a BIZ best bet. I'm pretty sure that was a BIZ best bet that day. And it may have been 40. 49. And anyway, Houston missed an extra point, which would have pushed it, and they also missed a field goal in the game. So that game had a really good chance to go over. So even though that was a loss, it was a game that could have gone over. So 23-4 is the record on this. Tennessee just had a home game with Buffalo. They go on the road today to Denver, and next week they're at home against the Chargers. So there's the road sandwich. We're going to take the over 40.5. Also helps that they came off a low-scoring game. Public's probably going to think that Tennessee can't score. Denver's struggling. Flacco, the great defense. But this road sandwich game, let's see if we could get it's a low total, which isn't bad. I checked the total. I filled the totals. It doesn't matter. High total, low total. It's not a bad spot. So we're going to take this road sandwich game over Tennessee, Denver. It might have even ticked up to 41 after I put this together. Hold on for a second. I'm kind of fighting a little head cold right now, so voice might be a little raspy. I might need to kind of take a sip of water every so often here. So we're going to take this Tennessee-Denver over 4.5, this road sandwich system, which is a pretty good one. Rams, Niners, under 50.5. This one, the Rams don't have Aqib Talib, their cornerback, and when they don't have Talib, they tend to struggle on defense. I was reading some things about the difference between the Rams with and without Talib, but I'm not going to let one guy dictate the play. This underplay is very simple. The Rams triggered it, and the previous 2 games is when a team allowed a ton of points, which the Rams did. I think Tampa Bay, Seattle were their last 2 games. They 55 to Tampa, 30 some odd to Seattle. And this triggers a system as 22-5-2. Now the Niners are getting hit with the injury bug. They lost Joe Staley a few weeks ago to a broken tibia. Last week on Monday night, they lost Mike McGlinchey, their right guard, first-round pick from Notre Dame a few years ago. They lost him to an injury. He's out several weeks. And their fullback, Jurczyk, who's a key component to that offense. He does so many things on the running game with lead blocks, catching the ball. He's out also. That is a significant loss for the Niners on the offensive side of the ball, their fullback. So they are dealing with some injuries. I I know the Rams, the Talib thing, but there's a string of unders in this system. Team that's given up a ton. It's a divisional game. I know a lot of these matchups with the Rams and Niners have gone over down in LA. So I was really kind of torn on this game. I was kind of debating on whether or not to include this in the playlist this week. This total's gone up 2 points from the open. And so, I was really, really on the fence with this game. I really, really was. But I decided to just go with it. The under system, the Niners dealing with some injuries. So we're going to go with this. And like I said, it's not my strongest play of the week. I'll let you know right off the top, it's not my strongest play. But it is a play. So I'll let you guys decide whether or not you want to play it. I'm playing it. It is an official play. We're going to go with that under. As you can see, it's got a string of unders. It's teams giving up a shit ton of points lately. They tend to kind of buckle back down on the defensive side of the ball. And let's take this under 50.5. It might even go to 51. Who knows? But we'll take the under here. Niners, Rams under. Houston and the Chiefs under 55. Another under. The Chiefs with another under situation. I know it's tough to take an under with the Chiefs, but we did it last Sunday, and we're doing it again. And this is pretty much a team trend. I said I wasn't much for team trends, but this one is pretty significant, and it has to do, as I mentioned last week, with the Kansas City Chiefs after a game when they had a poor time of possession and they're playing at home. There's two separate situations where they tend to go under at home. One of them was 18-1. I think the other one was 21-2. It adds up to 39-3. But anyway, it's a very, very, very strong indicator of the Chiefs going under. So, just like last week, we didn't have we had some supporting systems last week on the under. I'm actually kind of kicking myself for not taking the under for 2 units in that game, but whatever. This is just strictly a team angle on the Chiefs, and it's been very, very strong and very predictive recently. It goes back even to the beginning of Andy Reid's tenure with the Chiefs. So we're gonna take this Houston-Kansas City under 55. Houston lit it up last week. Public probably thinks, hey, Houston lit it up. Kansas City is gonna bounce back after not scoring tons of points. We'll take the under. Chiefs and the Texans. We'll take the under 55. All right, one more totals day. Philly and Minnesota over. We've got an over spot where the previous game this team passed for 100 yards more than their season-to-date average, and they scored 27 or more. That is the Eagles. It's a non-divisional turf game. Fast track. Dome. No elements, no wind, no shitty grass, no slipping. Non-divisional, not a divisional, non-divisional. This spot is 42-13 to the over. And when the opponent previously went under, which is the Vikings, they went under last week because we had them, it's 23-5. So this game, I think the Eagles can get some stuff done through the air. They're a pretty good passing team this year. In a dome. I know in the past these teams have played some lower scoring games, but let's take this Philly Minnesota over 44. Fast track, dome, no weather. Nice record, nice historical record there in the over. We're going to take this Philadelphia Minnesota over 44. All right. A new feature came out with this week. I called some games in the past stinkers. The Raiders come to mind. And a few others. And so Stewie said, yo, why don't we come up with something for this stinker of the week thing you always talk about? I said, alright. So we got some music. I sent this out to my sound engineer. I said, look, I need some music for my stinker of the week. He says, I got you. I got you. So if anybody could come up with the name of this song, and group. Put it in the comments. You'll get a prize. Let your dog sit still for a weekend or something. We're on the Jets. 7.5, 7.5. I think it's dropped to 7. I bought a half point to 7.5. It's kind of a square thing to do, buying points. I know, so I don't need people saying buying points is square. I know it is, but I'm doing it anyway because I want 7.5. That's what I want. I want that hook. I'll pay 10 cents. The Jets. They're getting Darnold back. They still don't have Moses. Several systems point to the Jets. We got a dog that hasn't covered, playing a good team. The top 184 and 40. We're playing against a team, the Cowboys. The favorite. Turned it over a ton last week. 47-19. We're playing on a dog that's got a horrific scoring margin. When you're being outscored on average compared to your opponent by 21 or more, that's awful. I believe the Cowboys have an 8-point positive advantage scoring average. I believe the Dolphins are like around 15 and change. They're getting outscored on average by 15 points or so. So that's over 21. It's like 23 and change. So they trigger that scoring margin. 21 points or worse, the dog, and it's game 6 or more. We use game 6 or more so that we have a decent amount of games to calculate that number. You don't want to do a 2-game sample. I mean, that's not really too significant. So we go to game 6. They've had 4 or 5 games to calculate that number. So that's a 22-6 record. So we have 3 of those systems. The last one we have are one of my favorites. We've had it several times this year. The dog off of a blowout loss. Non-divisional. The Raiders hit it. Can't think off the top of my head who else hit it, but we've hit that a few times this year. And I think Cincinnati was one when they went to Buffalo. They had that game at Buffalo. I think it was the Niner game. They got blown out by the Niners, and then they went to Buffalo. And they won. I think whenever we get this spot come up, this NFL dog off a blowout loss, this might be an automatic stinker of the week play. So when we get this system, that's going to probably trigger a stinker of the week play. And lastly, look at that marker down there. We got the Cowboys with 74% of the money, of the bets. 70% of the bets, 52% of the money. That line ticked down from 7.5 to 7. So we have bets and money on the Cowboys, but the line dropped down a tick. Just a little cherry on top play. It's nothing I wouldn't run to my bank and withdraw a ton of money to put on the Jets because of that. But it's a nice little added bonus to this play, the Jets. So the BIZ stinker of the week, we're going to take the New York Jets. It's also the primetime games. Sunday afternoon is the 125 game. Jim Nantz and Tony Romo doing that game. So I'm sure they'd like a competitive game. I'm sure they told the referee, yo, you see the Jets lineman kind of tug a little bit, keep that flag in your pocket. If you see any Cowboy defenders with a little contact or pulling, feel free to throw some flags on those pricks. Probably noticed. Something. That I've stretched this screen out quite a while because this band is so freaking awesome and this song just rocks. It's just Go find some cannabis, light it up, and listen to these guys. That's all I'm going to say. We did it in high school constantly. These guys are probably the top 3 band of all time to listen to when you're smoking some weed. I just call it cannabis now, but anyway, let's take Jets plus 7.5. All right. Thanks to David Gilmour, Roger Waters, and the crew for that background music. Here's a play based strictly on the market. I like the Jacksonville Jaguars this week, -2. Yeah, I bought another half. The 2. I don't want 2.5. I want 2. Bets on the Saints, and the money is coming in on the Jags, and this line jumped 2.5 points. You want to leave it 2.5, leave it 2.5. They'll probably win by 10. The Saints are just. This is a sell-high team right now. I love the Saints, and I love Sean Payton. He can coach my team any day of the week, and twice on Sunday. This dude is elite. But Teddy Bridgewater, he's a nice quarterback, and his story of coming back from that gruesome knee injury is, how can you not root for a dude like this? But, the Saints, they've had some good fortune lately. Let's, I'll tell you, Bowling Green is up 20-7 with 5 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. I told you guys to bet the money line on them. Not really. They're up 20-7, Bowling Green. Wow. 20. That is. Okay. Sorry, guys. Didn't mean to hijack the NFL video with a NCAA football score, but we took Bowling Green plus 27.5 today. If you listen to my NCAA video, you know. And if you didn't listen to it, you know now. But we took Bowling Green. It's the only game we played in the morning. And they were getting 27.5. And I think they may have been my stinker of the week. Did I say that already? They were the stinker of the week. And they're getting 4 touchdowns, and they're up 20-7 in the fourth quarter. So, Drew Brees gets hurt against the Rams, and then they go play Seattle, where they were the beneficiary of some turnovers and punt returns and stuff. We did have them that day. Then they had that great defensive performance against the Cowboys on a Monday night home game, geeked up. Then they play at home against Tampa Bay. They were in a tough game with Tampa. They pulled it out 31-24. Now they go on the road, and they lost at the Rams. They should have lost at Seattle. And now they're on the road against Jacksonville on the grass, outdoors. They're not in their cozy dome. Jacksonville's got that nice defense. And you look at all of these bet signals, all the reverse line movements on Jacksonville. RLM means line goes one way and the money's going the other way. So Saints are getting 61% of the bets, but that line's going the opposite direction. I love Jacksonville in this spot. Love them. I don't know if I'm going to put them as the best bet yet. You have to watch the rest of the video, but I think Jacksonville that's a really good spot. I don't have a system. This is just Biz looking at this game and saying, man, this game screams Jacksonville. I love Gardner Minshew. That offense is getting underway. Clark, Fournette, the hammer. That defense is playing well. They should have won last week if they don't cough the ball up twice and give them 14 points. Jacksonville is really, I think they're a really, really solid play this week. They hammered Tennessee on a Thursday night. They went to Denver and won. I know Denver's not the greatest team, but they went on the road and won. They lost a tough game at home against Houston. And I just think they played Kansas City pretty competitively opening week. I just think this team is getting into a groove. Minshew is settling in, and we're going to take Jacksonville -2 to beat the Saints. I think they win by 10. I'll take a win by 3, but I like the Jags this week. So those are the totals and sides that were on this week. Teasers. Got some teasers that qualify this week. And teaser music with Joe Satriani. By the way, next Friday I'm going to a show I think Friday's video, I get the college out Friday. I might just feature music just strictly from this one artist that I'm going to go see next Friday night. This dude I'm seeing next Friday is one of my favorite guitarists ever. He could sing also. Phenomenal guitar player. And I think he's going to be featured on my college video. I don't want to feature him on the NFL because the NFL is going good, and I want to change that up. But you guys don't care about that shit right now. I say, dude, get with the teasers already. Alright. Tennessee is going to be our key. A couple weeks ago, we had Minnesota key our teasers. And this week, we're going to have Tennessee be our key. They're getting 2.5 points at Denver. And they also trigger a system. That top one is a system play that they trigger. It's 29-2-1, and it's a road favorite or a dog to 6. They previously lost at home by 6 or more. And they had more first downs than points scored. And they allowed several rushing first downs. Now, Tennessee was at home against Buffalo. And how they managed to screw that game up, I talk about coaches sometimes, and Vrabel made some of the most head-scratching decisions last week. You know, Santos missed a ton of field goals last week, and they had like a 4th down at the 33. It was 6 minutes to go, down 14-7, and he sends the guy out to kick another field goal, and he misses it. It's like, dude, why don't you just go for the first down? You need a touchdown. If you kick the field goal, you still need a fucking touchdown. There's 6 minutes going to the game. What are you doing? He missed it. They lost the game. They lost by 7, so that triggers that. They played at home. They lost by 7. They scored 7 points. They had more first downs than points. They allowed several rushing first downs to the Bills. So they trigger this 29-2-1. So since they're getting 2.5, we're going to trigger. They're going to be our key teaser in a 6 and a 6.5 point teaser. We're going to take Tennessee and Arizona. Arizona's at home. Atlanta's getting all the money. 78% of the bets, 83% of the money. That line went from 1 to 2.5. The public is unloading on the Falcons, and I don't have a clue as to why. This team is. They went to the Super Bowl a few years ago. I guess people think that they're still the same Super Bowl team. They're 1-4. They're 1-4. And I know Arizona has a rookie coach and a rookie quarterback, but they did get off the schneid last week. They got their first win. That is a huge monkey to get off your back. And you know what the Falcons have done? They got blown out by Houston. They got whipped at home against Tennessee. They went to the Colts. They lost to the Colts. You know, they got thumped the first week against Arizona. They're playing on the road again. This is their 4th road game in 5 weeks. And they're playing on natural grass. Hey, maybe they get on track against a shitty team and win by 10 and lose their teaser. I'll bank that they don't. I'll bank that the Cardinals can hang tight and maybe even win the game. Tennessee, Arizona will be our 6-point teaser. The second teaser is a 6.5 point teaser. These are -120. I'm going to take the Browns. They're getting 1. I think they're getting 1. Let me double check. They were getting 1 point last I looked, and they still are. So the Browns are getting 1. I want to go through the key number. I don't want to stop on the key number. I want to get to 7.5. So we'll take that 6.5 point teaser. Tennessee again is our key, and we'll take the Browns off of that god-awful Monday performance. This is the talk about a Jekyll and Hyde team. They looked great one week. They thumped Baltimore, and then they come back and lay an egg against the Niners. Now they're back home. They played the Rams tough at home, too. They played a really good game against the Rams. Their offense just could not get anything going. I think Seattle's a little overrated. They should have lost to the Rams. The Browns heading back home. If they can't keep this to a touchdown, I don't see any reason why they can't keep this competitive and keep this within a touchdown. Seattle's playing outdoors on the road, and They've squeaked by the Bengals week 1 at home. Cincinnati sucks. They went to Pittsburgh. We had them that week. They won by 2. Pittsburgh, they lost to the Saints. They beat the Cardinals. They thumped them. And then they lost to the Rams. They're 2-0 on the road. Browns should be competitive in this game. I mean, I can't. They were embarrassed. They were absolutely embarrassed on national television. So I look for them to really bounce back in this game, and at the very least lose by less than a touchdown. I can't believe they'd lose by more than a touchdown. So if the Browns get blown out at home, then that team's going to just implode. But we're going to take that teaser, Tennessee and the Browns. So we had 2 teasers this week: Tennessee, Arizona, Tennessee, Cleveland. And I just want to show you a few things on the bet numbers as to why I kind of like both those teams. In addition to that, they fit the Wong teaser model. You see the Browns are getting some reverse line movements, some steam moves. Early in the week, Seattle got a couple, but Cleveland the last day or two has gotten all of the bet signals. And on the bottom one, Arizona's gotten all of them. Arizona. All the money and bets percentages are with the Falcons, but all the moves, all the bet signals are on the Cardinals. So that's another reason I kind of like the Cardinals. So just a little bet data there. We're going to take the 2 teasers that I just mentioned. All right. What you've all been waiting for. One of the things. Yeah. The Florida Pete BIZ combo play. I said, Pete, who you like? First game he gave me was, I think, the Browns. I said, give me another. Said, give me the Jets. We're going to take this New York Jets. 7.5. Get that hook. 7.5. The Sunday afternoon marquee game of the day. The Jets. This is a combo stinker play also. Got the Florida Pete BIZ combo play / stinker play. We're taking the Jets. I could have taken the Browns. You did mention the Browns at first. The Browns just weren't on my radar, so that's why I didn't put them here. But last week we crushed this game. We had the over that. What the hell is that? My game. I hope you guys can't hear that because that just. Let me hold on. Speaking in another language too. I live in a Bay Area is very diverse, melting pot. You get all kinds of people. All right, Florida Pete BIZ combo play. Let's go with the Jets 7.5. BIZ Pete combo play. Here's your playlist. Lots of totals. Ravens and Bengals under at 48. High total. People seem to think there'll be some scoring in that game. I don't. I showed you the Cincinnati angles. It's a pretty strong play historically. We'll take that under. Houston, Kansas City. We're going to tempt fate again and take the Chiefs with an under 55. Philadelphia, Minnesota. Over 44. Minnesota, that nice defense. Philadelphia, Carson Wentz, I think he's rounding back into form. They scored 31 last week, although it was against the Jets. They scored 27 at Green Bay. Let's see if they can keep going with that offense. And, Minnesota kind of got on track last week with the offense. Let's see if they can get over that total 44. Tennessee, Denver over 40.5. Mile high. Get that over the Jets, the stinker, the combo. 7.5. Just a 1 unit play. I talked to Pete about maybe making these 2 units. But we'll go 1 unit on that one. Jacksonville, I really like. -2 against it. That's just a good situational spot for the Jags this week. I really like the Jags. Really like them. Niners, Rams. No Talib. The Rams defense is not good with Talib out. I'm attempting that fate also. Niners have some injuries, some key injuries. The fullback is real key to that offense. They lost McGlinchey on the line. The Rams off of 2 horrific defensive performances. I gotta think that Bum Phillips and that crew are going to take that to heart, and in a divisional matchup, kind of shore that up. So we'll take that under. You know what I think of Kyle Shanahan. That guy is the sharpest offensive mind in football. If you guys subscribe to The Athletic, Ted Nguyen does a phenomenal film breakdown every week of the Niners and Raiders. And what this guy draws up and the schemes that he puts together and the setting up of plays, he is just incredibly gifted. So we'll take that under. Despite all that glowing talk about offense, I will take the under. A couple teasers. We talked about them. I explained why we like them. 2 of them. Tennessee is the key. All right. And now for our best bet. Yeah. Let's take that Cincinnati-Baltimore under 48. Just some nice systems at play. Nice systems to work here. It's a little combo, BIZ Stewie combo best bet. I just had the one best bet, so I didn't want to leave Stewie out. I think I punched him enough by giving him a 1-week vacation. So take the under 48 here. Lots of really nice angles. I know Baltimore's defense isn't what it historically has been. But having said that, we're going to take the under here, 48, Cincinnati-Baltimore. Hopefully Cincinnati's offense continues to struggle. They really looked bad a couple weeks ago against Pittsburgh, and last week against Arizona. That was the game we passed last week, actually, that Arizona-Cincinnati over. I passed it. I think I had a list of games we passed. I forgot to put that screen on here to go over them, but that was the game we passed, and that game went over at the very end of the game. That game had no business at all going over, at all, but it did by a couple of points. So Cincinnati struggled for most of that game, and let's hope that their offensive struggles continue. Lamar Jackson tends to turn it over. Let's take that under 48. So our fresh best bet of the week is the Cincinnati-Baltimore under 48. Just check some scores here, callers. Bowling Green, they're going to win. It's 20-7. It's over. Bowling Green 20, Toledo 7. That's a final. Getting 27.5. The BIZ stinker of the week. Wow. And Michigan's in a dogfight. They were up 28-0. They're at 28-25 in the fourth quarter. That's another game I passed on the college. My passes are looking like pretty good passes so far. I passed several games this week on the college video. And for those of you that watched that video, I talked about that Purdue-Maryland line movement. And Purdue stomped them 40-14. And I wish to God I'd never looked at Maryland's stats, because if I didn't, I would have just taken Purdue. That line movement just screamed Purdue, and they're kicking a shit on Maryland 40-14. So, get back to the NFL hour. BIZ Stewie best bet. Cincinnati-Baltimore under 48. You want to get a hold of me? That's how you do it. BIZ112763 at gmail.com. On my daily list, hit me up. Had a tough loss last night in the NHL. Lost in overtime, shootout. Although we did tie the game with 10 seconds to go in the game, so it can't be that tough to beat. But we did lose last night in overtime, shootout. Night before, 2 nights before, we went 4-0. Hockey's not bad. I got 4 plays going out today in hockey. If anybody wants to play those on a busy football day, you can certainly play those. If you're interested in NHL basketball, NBA starting up a few weeks, college basketball, I told you we were killing the NCAA basketball totals last year. Hope to do the same this year. If you're into basketball, hockey, hit me up. I'll put you on my daily list. No charge, no obligations. Daily email. I'll let you know when videos are out. Send you out the plays. Anything else that comes to mind, I'll get out to you guys. Twitter, BizWinners, at BizWinners. If you don't get on my daily distribution list, you gotta get on the Twitter. It would have saved you some money last Monday. Like I told you guys, I got off of Cleveland, and I can't get a hold of you guys in any other way other than Twitter. I can't email everybody. Get on that Twitter. Monitor it. I put stuff out there. I'll put plays out early to beat line moves. So get on that Twitter, please. Thumbs up, subscribe. We got a lot more subscribers. Thank you very much. Thumbs up. You guys are doing better. I saw some thumbs ups on that NCAA football video. The NFL video, I don't know why I don't have a thumbs up for every one of you bastards that watches it. For Christ's sake, what more do you want from me? My flight attendants are hot. You got free drinks. Got the carving station open. First class in this jet we're flying. You saw the accommodations in my intro video. What more do you want from Biz? For Christ's sake, give me a thumbs up, will ya? And of course, spread the word, spread the gospel of Biz. Let people know, yo, you're struggling with the NFL. My boy Biz, this dude's on fire. Check him out. Alright, so email, Twitter. That's how you get a hold of me.
Hello. How you doing? She's gone. Figured I'd give you a call.
What a beat, huh? I know you guys turned up your computers, your phones. You got your Bose headphones on. Cranked it up. What a nice beat. This one's like 35 years old, this song. Timeless. Don't worry, I'm not going to crack on any hip-hop today. Don't worry. Alright, so that'll do it for this week. Have a great day, everybody. Have a great weekend. Enjoy the college football today. The college, what a great slate of games. Bama, A&M. We got action on that one. We got some late night action tonight. Hawaii, Boise State got a total play. For you late night DJs, we got some action for you. Tomorrow, Sunday. Nice card totals. Some sides, stinker. Teasers. Horrific teams that when you tell your buddies you're playing them, they're going to be you fucking nuts. You say, you know what, dude? My boy Biz gave us out. You want to go against the Biz? Good luck. And after the Jets cover and maybe win, you're going to roll up to him and say, yo, what I tell you? Don't fade the Biz. Clear skies, great weather. Great weekend of football. Thanks so much, everybody, for taking the time out of your day to join me as we continue our journey in this long football season. Again, I'll be back next week with all of the results, review Week 7 of the NFL. Weekend of college football. As always, we let Mark Knopfler and the crew send us on out of here. Take care, everybody. I'll see you next week. When he gets up under the lights to play his thing. And Harry doesn't mind if he doesn't make the scene. He's got a daytime job. He's doing alright. He can play the honky-tonk like anything. Saving it up Friday night with the Sultans. With the Sultans of Swing. Young boys, they're fooling around in the corner.
in their platform soul. They don't give a damn about any trumpet playing band. It ain't what they call rock and roll. And the Sultans, yeah, the Sultans, they play Creole. Creole. And the man steps right up to the microphone. He says at last, just as the time bell rings, good night, now it's time to go home. Then he makes it fast with one more thing. We are the Sultans. We are the Sultans.